Sound rolling.
Camera 1.
Rolling.
Camera 2. Rolling.
My name is Dolores Tierney. I'm a professor and head of film studies at the University of Sussex in the United Kingdom. My research focus is Latin American cinema broadly, but then I focus in particular on exploitation cinemas from the classical era up to the contemporary era, classical Mexican cinema, inter-American cinema made between Mexico and the United States. I'm also currently working on a race and ethnicity project looking at extras of colour in late silent and early cinema. I also look at contemporary transnational cinema, so we're talking about the big Mexican directors Iñárritu, Del Toro, Cuarón, a Brazilian director Walter Salles, Argentine director Campanella, and talking about their productions that are transnational both in their production and also their genre elements and how we can think about that in relation to Latin American cultural politics. So I first arrived at Tulane in 1997, in the late August of 1997. I came here to start a graduate program in the Spanish and Portuguese department, but I really came for Ana López. So I met her in London, I met her in Guadalajara, I'd met her at various conferences, I'd been to New Orleans, and she said, you really should come work with me. And I wanted to work on classical Mexican cinema, and Ana López was the person to come and work with. Communication didn't have a graduate program at that time, but because I had an undergraduate in film, we could kind of work it that I could do my PhD in the Spanish department. I left Tulane for the first time in 2003, and I went to the United Kingdom where I have a job. But then I came back for a year between 2005 and 2006, so I left again in May 2006. The Stone Centre has been incredibly important to my career, both to my graduate work, but also things that happened before and afterwards. So the Stone Centre funded the 1996 Popular Culture Conference that Anna ran here that had a host of everyone who's everyone in Latin American film studies, plus also really important cultural commentators like Carlos Monsiváis. And there was a kind of a massive amount of scholarship going on there. And I came to that conference, I gave my first conference paper and met Anna again, or properly got to know her. And that's when that conference was funded by the Stone Centre. And it kind of gave me a kind of a vast kind of survey sense of the cinema that I wanted to look at, classical Mexican cinema. And then I could use what I'd learned at that conference to go back to Mexico and do work. The Stone Centre funded several summers of research in Mexico City, where I was often researching projects like Mexican wrestling and Mexican wrestling cinema, watching a lot of those films, picking up popular publications on the street, going to lots of lucha libre at night in the Arena Mexico to kind of get a sense of it. And whilst I was doing a lot of that kind of additional research, I was also picking up information that I did use in my doctoral work. As a visiting assistant professor in communication, before I'd got my doctorate, the Stone Centre and Tom Reese always helped out with little bits of money to try and run a film series of Venezuelan films or Southern Coast cinema, and would help with costs of putting things on. Just, it was kind of immense, and it was generally generating a lot of events, supporting us in our work. So the Stone Centre was really important to my six years here the first time, yeah. So if I had to pick a word to describe the Stone Centre, and I find that hard because I like a lot of words, but the one word would most probably be community, because I felt that I belonged here as a graduate student and a young faculty member. I enjoyed the number of events that were going on, the sense of welcome was here. We had often had little receptions on the patio on Friday evenings with maybe music and a little bit to eat, and a sense of this is the end of the week and let's all talk a little bit. So those were always really wonderful events. So I really feel that community and feeling like I belonged was something I potentially got from the Stone Centre. Oh, okay, good. Okay, good.